advice to the Deputy President, what comes to mind?
I think that there is a big desire to have what you can call a unanimous referendum. I think that the desire to do that is probably beginning to override the need for some caution to say, yes, we are all heading in the same direction, but why don't we make corrections as we go along? Because some of the suggestions being made were not a major reversal of what had been agreed,
yes,
but a fine-tuning of it. I have a feeling that I think there has been a rush to find an opponent, almost an enemy to the referendum. I don't think maybe that's the way we should go. That's what is now going to divide the country.
Yeah.
I think even around things, these are 47 million people. Even if you have a consensus view of those who made submissions, when you go down now to appeal to the rest of the Kenyans, you can expect some variances, maybe in a small way, maybe at the margin, maybe substantive. And you have to be able to be willing to listen to this and to see how you can correct it. At the end of the day, yes, not everybody needs to be on board, just the majority need to be. Okay. But you cannot, at this stage, begin to rule out people or cut out people. Honorable Mheshimiwa Atwali's views are well known. We know which side of it he stands. So he's not one of the, you can't call it one of the wise men now who would stand in the middle and talk to both sides. He's already taken a side.
Yes. And
I think he should accept that and agree that there's another side to it, which should allow some conversation. We want to move together. We want to move Kenya forward. We want to be able to end up only with the economy as a challenge we are facing. Not all these other things that will become sideshows and games on the side.
Now, when you look at the paper, it also says that the Deputy President is in a catch-22 situation for obvious reasons. So given that he will probably by default have to head a no campaign, this could backfire should he lose and his opponents have made it harder for him to join them. So what do you think, if that is the scenario, if this scenario that is being painted is accurate, what do you think it bodes for his political future?
I think the high stakes, there are risks in this. If you talk to one set of proponents, they feel that the Deputy President, first of all, they want the Deputy President to oppose, which gives them a sense of a win that will help when you move to the elections. And they're a bit nervous if the Deputy President says, I join you, I agree with you. They say, why is he agreeing with us? So that's one side. The other side of it is for the Deputy President to say, if I go into this thing, do I have any wiggle room for my political interests that I may probably get cornered into it, and he may be reluctant to rush into it. But I think at the end of the day, there's another level of risk that we need to look at. The probability may vary, but conceptually, the other level of risk is that the voters might say no to the referendum, or perhaps yes to the referendum. And we should begin to analyze that those are real possibilities. What does it imply, therefore, for both sides who are doing it? The views you get now, the early views that one hears now, is that people have strong reactions to this. And they probably want to ventilate before they will support. I don't think it should be taken for granted that it's something that everybody's cheering. I think there are those who are cheering, definitely, but there are those who may not be cheering. And from a serious political analysis, you would expect people have interests that are regional, that are political, their agenda, they are faith-based. And from those angles, you can have areas in which you might want to fine-tune what the recommendations are. It can't be that something comes out and everybody agrees with it fully. So I really think for the sake of the unity of the country, let us get some sense into this. The President showed some willingness to say fine-tuning within the recommendations that have been done. Those are my words. But saying that he can look at sort of straightening out little things as they go forward, let's call it that. But I think we are getting some hawkish views that are taking, the hawkish views are taking the higher pedestal, who are saying, let us not look at it, it's closed, let us go on. There's a risk there, you can go to an inch and they may not agree. And then if they don't, it's inverting a pyramid. It's very difficult to have it stand.
All right. Mike, is there anything else that you think?
Well, I was just going to ask Mheshimiwa what he feels the urgency might be. There seems to be a push by those, in support of the BBI, pushing for it to be done now, and there seems to be an urgency to it. I don't know what your thoughts are on that as we wind up, sir.
There's certainly a clear sense of urgency on their part. The rationale is not obvious. It's not clear to me. But I have a feeling that it's a sense of let us defeat the other person or the other side. And that's why they're very eager to have somebody oppose it, so they can completely destroy that view and perhaps that person's political interest there, so they can move in with great confidence. That has a risk because they still have the hurdle to deal with the Kenyans at the time, both of the referendum vote and of the general vote that might follow. I really think that it should be accommodating to logical views. There are many aspects that can be looked at while agreeing with it, but fine-tuning what has come out. They can't defend words that are written by individuals. They should defend the ideas and the concepts. So long as they're within the ideas, I think there should be some discussion.
All right, and Honorable Sakwa, because of time, we'll wrap up the newspaper review right about there. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. And as we move on, mentioned earlier, this Wednesday is a day where we focus on health. And October happens to be Breast Awareness Cancer Month, and that is what was happening. But also November happens to be Prostate Cancer Month, and we're going to be speaking to a doctor